It was 3:07 a.m. when Maya's old flip phone buzzed on the cracked nightstand beside her. Her eyelids fluttered, heavy from another double shift at the county hospital. She groggily reached for the phone, blinking at the unfamiliar number on the screen. "This is Nurse Maya," she whispered, her voice thick with exhaustion. A frantic male voice answered. "Hello. Is this Nurse Janelle?" I got your number from the emergency nurse line. My daughter, she has a high fever, and she's struggling to breathe. I don't know what to do. Please come. I'm alone." Maya sat up, adrenaline drowning her fatigue. "You've got the wrong nurse, sir, but what's your address?" "I'm coming." There was a pause. "Wait, you're not Janelle." "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to." "It's okay. I'm a registered nurse. I can help." Another moment of hesitation, then a broken whisper, "Please. 45, Ravenhill Lane. Her name is Lily. She's only 4. Maya didn't ask more. She grabbed her scrubs, tied her curls into a messy bun, and dashed out into the cold, deserted streets of the city. The bus wouldn't arrive for another hour, so she ran to the intersection and hailed the only cab she saw. She didn't know that she was racing towards something that would change her life forever. 40 minutes later, Maya stood outside a sleek glass townhouse in one of the city's most affluent neighborhoods, miles away from the world she came from. Her shoes were wet, her coat thin, but her heart beat only for the child inside. The door swung open before she could knock. A man in his mid-30s stood there, shirt wrinkled, eyes wild with worry. Behind him, a little girl lay on the couch, flushed red, her small chest rising and falling with difficulty. "She's burning up," the man said, stepping aside. "I tried everything, I even Googled home remedies. Nothing's working." Maya knelt beside the child, placing the back of her hand on the girl's forehead. "She's at 104. 7, she murmured after checking her with a borrowed thermometer. "We need to bring that fever down immediately." For the next hour, she moved like a storm, cool compresses, fever reducers, oxygen checks, soft lullabies. The man watched helplessly, amazed. Slowly, Lily's breathing calmed, her temperature dipped, and she finally fell into a peaceful sleep. "Thank you," he whispered as Maya pulled the blanket gently over the little girl. "You're a guardian angel." She gave a tired smile. "Just a nurse who couldn't ignore a child in need." "I'm Ethan Cole," he said after a pause. "And I'm sorry I woke you up by mistake." Maya chuckled softly. Sometimes wrong numbers lead to the right places. Maya intended to leave then, to slip quietly out the way she came. But Ethan insisted she stay for tea. One cup became 2, and a conversation turned into a confessional. "My wife passed away during childbirth," Ethan said quietly, staring into his mug. "I tried to be everything. CEO, father, mother. But sometimes I don't know what I'm doing. I guess tonight proved that." Maya listened, her chest tight. No one's meant to do it all alone. He looked up, really seeing her for the first time. There was weariness in her eyes, but also something fierce and beautiful. "What's your story, Nurse Maya?" She hesitated, unused to anyone asking. "Single mom. My son's 8. Lives with my sister while I work. I do night shifts and odd hours to keep the bills paid. My dream was to be a pediatric nurse, but dreams take time when survival comes first." Their eyes held for a moment, two strangers from different worlds, bound by silent battles and unspoken strength. That night, Maya left as the sun broke over the horizon. Ethan walked her to the cab, holding her hand for a moment longer than necessary. "Can I call you again?" he asked. "Only if you mean it this time," she replied with a soft smile. He did. Days turned into weeks. Ethan began calling Maya not just for medical needs but for advice, for parenting tips, for the comfort of her voice. She saw Lily often, first as a nurse, then as a friend, then as something more. The little girl took to her instantly, always asking when Nurse Maya would visit again. Ethan found excuses to invite her, Lily has a cough, or she won't eat without you. But soon, he dropped the pretense. Come for dinner, he'd say. Stay a while longer. One evening, Lily tugged on Maya's hand and said, "Are you going to be my new mommy?" Maya's heart nearly stopped. She glanced at Ethan, who froze mid-sip, a soft blush rising in his cheeks. "I'd be lucky," Maya whispered. One winter night, snow blanketed the city in silence. Maya arrived at Ethan's home after a long shift, exhausted and cold. She opened the door to find candles lit, a warm dinner waiting, and Ethan kneeling in front of the fireplace, holding a small velvet box. "I don't have all the right words," he began. "But I know you were meant to come into our lives. You came because you cared, even when you didn't have to. You stayed when you could have walked away. And now, I never want you to leave." Maya stared, overwhelmed. For a moment, she thought of the tiny apartment she shared with her sister, of her old uniform, of every night she cried in silence because the world never seemed fair. Then she looked at Ethan, the man who had everything but still needed something real. And Lily, the child who had chosen her before either of them had spoken of love. She nodded through tears. Yes. 1,000 times yes. They married quietly in spring. Maya moved in, not as a nurse or guest, but as the heart of their home. Her son, Jamal, joined them, becoming Lily's big brother and best friend. Ethan stepped back from his CEO duties to spend more time at home, while Maya finally enrolled in the pediatric certification program she'd postponed for years. The life she once only dared to imagine began to bloom, one of love, purpose, and second chances. Years later, Maya would tell their story to her nursing students. How did it all begin, one would ask. She'd smile, eyes misty. With a wrong call at 3 a.m., and the choice to show up anyway. Because sometimes, the universe doesn't send an invitation. Sometimes, it just sends a whisper. And the ones who answer. They change the world, starting with one family, one act of kindness, and one unexpected yes.